Have any of you ever wondered which car in Rocket League is the fastest? Well, if you put the cars in a drag race side by side, you won't actually see a difference, as the top speed and acceleration stats are all identical no matter which car you choose. However, the turning radius of a car does differ between the 6 car hitboxes in the game. So I decided to throw these cars around the track to find out once and for all which car is the fastest in Rocket League. Now, since all cars fall within one of 6 specific hitbox presets, for this test I took one car from each preset and threw it around the track a bunch of times, taking the fastest time from each session. I made sure I completed a minimum of 5 laps with each hitbox that I was happy with, and also ensured that they were all flying laps so that they were at maximum speed when crossing the start line. And if you enjoy this video and you want to see more, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, as it really does help me out to see what sort of content you enjoy in this channel. I also stream every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday over on Twitch, so if you want to come and hang out anytime, please feel free to join me there. There's a link in the description below. But without further ado, let's take a look at some of the best laps from each car. So first up we have the Batmobile, and I must say I really struggled with the turning on the Batmobile. I had a number of slower times than this one. This is just the first lap, but something about the length of the Batmobile made it really struggle on this track. I believe its turning radius is quite poor in comparison to the other turns, and as we see we're struggling a little bit through the S's there, and this turn in particular I was never able to get the apex on it, so I had to go wide quite a few times. But we get around the track, we put in a 25.14, which isn't too bad, but we'll go for our fast lap now. That was just the first one, as I said, so here we go, onto the hot lap, getting in nice and tight into these turns. We actually missed the apex of that one, but we make up for it a little bit later, so we get a really good turn there where we get a little bit of air, and that allows us to make the turn. And here we get the S's section, which you'll see that we are really quite slow through this one because the car just does not want to turn around here. And again we go wide through here, making our way around the course, and in we come with a 24.71, which I think is a somewhat respectable time at least. And next up we have the Breakout. As we see, we're doing this in alphabetical order, so this is our first lap in the Breakout. As you can see, we make it a way around nice and easy. We missed the apex massively on that turn, so there's a lot of time to gain there. Get our way through here. The S's are quite comfortable in this car actually. I was quite surprised with the Breakout. As you see, we got a little bit of air there, which wasn't ideal, and I think we lost a little bit of time on that one as well, but we make it around with a 25.52, which is actually slower than the Batmobile, but we make up for it on our second, well not our second lap, but our fastest lap. And here we go, we're getting nice and tight there, a little bit tight there, but we could have probably been a bit tighter. Get a little bit of air there, that's going to take a lot of time out, so we probably could have gone even faster than this in the Breakout as well. As you see, we're making our way through the S's we come, and we get through these really nice and quick. We picked up a lot of time there and got a really good exit. Missed the apex there, but we had a lot of speed coming through it, so it didn't really matter. And there we go, 24.47. We can see we could have gone faster than that, but never mind, we move on. So next up we have the Dominus, and the Dominus was probably my favourite one to race around here on. It just hugged the track. It felt like it had so much downforce on it. It felt like we was racing a Formula 1 car. It just seemed to just hold its own completely, really nicely. We managed to make our way around here really smoothly. The S's are nice and comfortable. The only thing that I did notice going around this track was that we accidentally used the power slide button, which we hadn't done on anything else, so we got a 2360 here, which was a little bit incorrect. And as we can see, we've slowed it down right here. We make it around this one, and then right here, this is where we hit the power slide button, and yeah, that I didn't like, so we decided to scrap this lap completely and go for an original lap without power sliding. So here we go, around that turn nicely without power slide. Get a little bit of two-wheel action, which was less than ideal, but we'll see what time we get at the end of this first lap. And now we make our way through the S's again. We get a really poor bounce off one of the curbs, and that really throws us off. So here we go, making our way around, and what time can we do? We still get a 24.41 even with those mistakes, so not a bad lap at all for the Dominus. And here we go on our fastest lap that we set in the Dominus, with the exception of the power slide one earlier, but let's see if we can get anywhere close to that, because like I said, this lap, it does feel really good in the Dominus. So as you see, we're making our way through the S's now. We do lose a little bit of time there, so there's still time to make up. So we'll see if we can actually make our way through this with really good time, and we cross the line with 23.79, and as you can see I'm very happy with that one as I fly through the air in celebration. Now of course for the hybrid hitbox, what other car could I pick but the Skyline, an absolutely iconic piece of JDM history. Here we see we're making our way around quite nicely. I struggled quite a bit in the Skyline, I have to admit. I think its length again was causing me a few problems with some of the sharper turns in this, but we make some really good time around this one, and this is our first lap again, so we've still got our fast lap to do afterwards, but we make it around in a 24.10. So as we can see, we move on to our next time. So for a first lap, 24.10, not bad. Let's see if we can top that with a sub 24 time possibly. So we're making really good progress around here, getting these nice tight turns. We get a really good exit on that one. Now we approach the S's and we're making our way. But as you can see, we have to slow down quite a lot there, just like we did with the Batmobile. And again, we go super wide there, just like we did with the Batmobile. But we make it around and we get it just shy of the 23-second mark, and we get 24.01. And going from one absolute icon of Japanese car history to the Merc. And the Merc was actually really consistent around here. I felt its handling really useful. It just kind of stuck to the track. It didn't really stick to the track as much as the Dominus, but I felt really comfortable just driving around it, and it really did impress me quite a lot how good the Merc was in comparison to some of the other cars. But as you can see, our first lap we put in a 24.54, which is very respectable. I think it's quite similar to another time we set. And onto our fast lap, we will see we make a nice first turn here, getting nice and tight in there, and then make our way around, get around this wavy section, and a really good solid turn into the tunnels. And then we make our way through it on the approach to the S's, and I think we do the S's really nicely here. We get a little bit of a bounce where we end up on two wheels a little bit, but the turning actually helps us in that sense. Then we get a really good turn across there, and we finish up with 24.39, which is a really good solid time there for the Merc. And of course, last but not least, we have the Octane, everybody's favourite. So here we get nice tight turns in there. This is obviously our first lap, so we'll get a hot lap after this, but we've got a really nice sort of run up through these, and I thought Octane, I'm used to the Octane, should be nice and comfortable doing this. We make our way through there quite nicely. We clip our wheels just slightly on that ramp there, which probably lost us a fraction of time, but we managed to make it across the line in a 25.6. Now that was really disappointing, so I thought I have to do better than that, so I gave it a few more tries. This was the first car I tried it with, so the 25.6 was obviously my first proper lap. So here we go, we're going to make our way through these. As you can see, we're already a lot more comfortable. This must have been one of the later laps. Fly through here. We do clip that ramp again, which would have lost us a lot of time. So here we go, we make our way through, across the line in a 24.15. So still not as fast as the Dominus, and not as fast as the hybrid either, in fact. So there we have it. The Dominus is quite clearly the fastest car in the game. Clear from the next contender, the hybrid, by over 0.2 of a second. The Octane takes the bronze medal in third, followed by the Merc, Breakout and Batmobile. Notice that the Dominus is almost an entire second faster than the Batmobile around this track. Also, before a load of Fennec mains start to get angry in the comments, the Fennec has the Octane hitbox and behaves absolutely identically to it, so I chose to play the Octane, but the Fennec would likely have done absolutely no better, but feel free to try it yourselves, if you have access to the Steam Workshop, that is. Now, I know this experiment wasn't perfect and it includes a pretty hefty element of human error, but this was mostly just for fun as a fan of both Rocket League and sim racing games. However, it piqued my curiosity, so I decided to try it out. Of course, none of this really matters. Whichever car you pick, it's mostly personal preference, but certain cars will make certain things easier, and I have another video that explains all of that, which I'll put in a card in the top right of your screen now. But that just about does it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this. It was pretty fun to do, and it was very interesting to see the subtle differences in each car's handling capability. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like on the video, and if you want to see more of my content, please do subscribe. And of course, like I said earlier, if you want to hang out or if you have any questions, etc., feel free to drop by any of my live streams on Twitch. They happen every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, and I'd love to have you there. On Fridays we do viewer games and tournaments, etc., which are a lot of fun. Finally, if you want to support me further, you're able to use code GOLDFISH in the Rocket League item shop, and a small portion of your purchase gets distributed to me. So make sure to always use your favourite creators' codes when you make purchases in there. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching and thanks for all your support. All the best, take care, bye.